So where is Swanage? Well, if we look at Google Maps and we home in on the south coast of England, we can see the Isle of Wight there, Southampton above it. Move along westwards, we get to Bournemouth, and then below Bournemouth on this peninsula here we can see Swanage. So Swanage is where we'll be today. When we think about Swanage, most people think about the beach, or the steam railway, or maybe a geology field trip that you took when you were younger. Most of us don't stop and think about the history of Swanage. Why is the town here in the first place? It's been here a lot longer than people have been taking holidays by the seaside. One clue to the origins of Swanage lies beneath our feet. Have you noticed the rails that are embedded in the pavement? And this is Stone Quay. Yes, it's built of stone, but that isn't how it got its name. He's wondering if I've got any chips in my bag. Purbeck Stone and Purbeck marble have been quarried near Swanage since the time of the Romans. The 12th and 13th centuries were the main era of cathedral building in England, and Purbeck marble was used in many of these buildings for internal columns, knightly effigies and other structures. The Great Fire of London in 1666 led to a period of large-scale reconstruction in London, and Purbeck stone was extensively used for paving. It was in this time that stone first started being loaded onto ships directly from Swanage, and the rails that we could see were used by the carriages that transported the stone from carts to the boats at Stone Quay. This scene looked very different years ago. We'll retrace our footsteps and walk up the High Street. As we walk up the High Street, I'll show you 5 things that most of you missed the last time you came here on holiday. You may have noticed that there are plenty of pubs in Swanage. You probably didn't miss those. These days, Swanage is a very popular seaside resort, and it's very busy in the summer months. It's early November now though, so not many tourists around. This is Swanage Library on our right, with its distinctive octagonal shape. A 1960s design. Up ahead, we can see a large clock sticking out of the front of a tall building. This is Swanage Town Hall. Have a look at the front of the building. This is the first thing that you missed last time you were here. The Town Hall dates from 1882 and reused materials salvaged from demolition works in London. A great deal of Purbeck stone was shipped to London from Stone Quay that we saw earlier to be used in building works. The boats required ballast to stabilise them for the return journey, and amongst other things, material salvaged from buildings demolished in the capital was used for this. The facade that we can see here was taken from the 17th century Mercer's Hall in Cheapside in London. The external clock dates back to 1826. The lamps on either side of the door also came from London. If we walk down the side of the Town Hall, we'll find the second thing that you probably missed. Behind the Town Hall is the old Lockup, dating from 1803. Also known as clinks, lockups were temporary holding places for offenders who were being brought before the magistrate. This is a rare example, still in good condition. You can read the inscription yourself. I wonder how many of us would find ourselves locked up in there if it were still being used today. The third thing that you probably missed is here too. These bollards also originally came from London. There were about 100 of them around the town. How many did you see last time you were here? We'll continue walking up the high street to find the fourth thing that you probably missed. John Wesley was an English cleric who was the founder of the movement within the Church of England known as Methodism. He travelled the country and usually preached outdoors. It seems he visited Swanage in 1774 and stayed in a cottage on this site, which is sadly no longer here. Under Wesley's direction, Methodists became leaders in many social issues of the day, including prison reform and the abolition of slavery. The fifth thing that you probably missed is a bit further up the high street. Above the door of this small cottage, built of Purbeck Stone of course, is a small brass plaque. You can read it for yourself. It's places like this that really brings history alive for us. The cottage is called Two Hoots. The good news is that you can stay in this historical cottage yourself. It's now a self-catering holiday cottage. We'll continue our walk up the high street, past this terrace of Purbeck Stone cottages. On our right now is the United Reformed Church. We'll turn off the high street now and go down the hill. We can see St Mary's Church in front of us. But before we get to the church, we'll take a detour down this lane on the left. This was originally the centre of the very small hamlet of Swanage, and this is the mill pond. It's fed by a natural spring. I believe that this is the old mill building, now split into two properties. It hasn't changed a lot in the last 100 years. In episode 2 of our walk around Historic Swanage, we'll visit the steam railway. We'll walk along the beach. And we'll find out how this building found its way to Swanage seafront.